What is going on, everyone? Thank you for joining the Tully Broadcasting. So, in today's video, it's gonna be another relatively quick video. So pretty much the only thing I really have to go over is we're gonna go over Ranger news. We got Igor Shesterkin has re-signed the Rangers, kind of assumed, but really was wondering what the deal and the year and the price was gonna be. So that was really the only question. And I'll be going over the just Giants in general. There is some news going on for the Giants. We do have our first preseason game on Saturday, the day that it's going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out 2 hours just before the Giants preseason game in general. I'll be down south watching that. Super excited to watch. But we'll be watching the Giants versus the New York Jets. It's going to be sort of a cross town rivalry. Same stadium. Should be really excited to watch that. Definitely excited for a couple guys, which I'll go into is who I'm excited for. But I think to start the video, we'll just go over the quick Ranger news. We'll go into that real quickly, and then we'll go into more. We'll go into the Giants news. So to start off, we have obviously Igor Shesterkin. He's our number one goalie, our ace. Definitely a really good goalie, really young stud. Was in contention for the Calder Cup or Calder Trophy, which is the Rookie of the Year, pretty much for people that don't really watch hockey. So he was really good. The only reason why he didn't get it really was because the dude that did get it, Kirill Kaprizov, is an absolute stud. So, he was in contention. He got a couple votes. Definitely a good player. Really excited to get him on extension. I was actually surprised they even got it done this year. I heard they were going to try to do it next year with him and Fox, but they got it done. So he's going to be under a 4-year deal at 5.6, I think 5.66, maybe something a little like that. Now some people were annoyed by this. They said it was too early. They said it was too not long enough. They didn't think that the 4 years was good enough. Now my thing, I mean, like, listen, you got him on 4 years. I'm not totally worried about it at the end of the day. 4 years is a long time. And also, too, like, if at the end of the 4 years he's an absolute stud, he's an absolute stud. You pay the guy. You figure it out from there. 5.6 is relatively pretty good deal. Everyone seems to be relatively happy with the deal. It's just the only problem people have is the 4 years. They don't think it's long enough. People were really hoping for 5-year, 5.56. Um, but listen, we got him at where we got him at. We got him at 4 years. And at the end of the day, it's not the biggest deal. I'm pretty happy about it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's really all I have to talk about for Rangers. The only thing else I can go into is Adam Fox. The only news we got from there, and I sent my NHL insider, Tom. If you're watching, I don't know if you really watch these videos, but Tom, I talked to him about it. So he was saying I saw some news saying that if we're gonna want to sign Adam Fox, he's gonna be around 9 million. Now I figured it's gonna be around 9 million because you look at the other guys that got big contracts. Seth Jones got a 9.5, I think. Cal McCarr got the same thing. Cal McCarr is pretty much the exact same thing as Adam Fox. You'll say McCarr is better than Adam Fox, but at the end of the day, Adam Fox won a Norris Cup, so they're clearly right there, the two young stud defenders in the league. So he's gonna want his money. Now I sent that to my buddy and who's my NHL insider, my expert, and he was saying that there's like no way he's gonna want 9 million. He thinks we're gonna get a hometown discount with Adam Fox. My only problem with that is I don't know. I don't like the odds of it. I think it's gonna end up eventually probably be like at the bare minimum. I'm being nice, like 7.5. That's the bare minimum I think it's gonna be. So it's gonna be a lot, but it's deserving. He's a very good player. Now the reason why my buddy says that is because he's saying that, like, listen, he got drafted by the Hurricanes, and he's like, nah, I don't want to play for you guys. And he's a huge Ranger fan. He grew up being a Ranger fan. I think he's from Jericho, New York, which I believe is in Long Island. So he grew up a huge Ranger fan growing up. So he might end up turning out that, like, he's just kind of made his mind like this way he wants to play for the rest of his career and he's going to retire here. But I think he's going to try to fight for as much money as possible. I have no idea. I don't think this is going to get done anytime soon. Probably this time next year we'll be talking about Adam Fox getting signed. So I'm not really going to go much into that. It's just the only news I saw is this week that's probably what's going to be. Now that might be some Joe Schmo just saying, not really understanding the whole idea that he really likes New York. He's from New York. He loves the Rangers, and not really understanding the idea that, like, that's probably what he'd want if he wasn't playing on the Rangers, but maybe playing on the Rangers, he might take something less. I think the lowest number we'd probably see, like I said before, is probably 7.5. But that's pretty much all I got for Ranger news. We'll go into Giants news right now. So obviously the big news to start the week is Saquon is back. Saquon Barkley did come back. Now he has not been 100% like just playing, getting hit. They're trying to slow him, definitely getting like a slow progression in. Now the rumor is that he might not play until the third week, which I can maybe see that. What I would really see is second week is I would see, like, he's questionable for the first week. And now my thing is that the first week, I might not see, I could see him not playing the first week. And if he does play, not getting a lot of snaps in general, because you got to think about it. We play Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, and then we play the Thursday game against Washington. And Washington, the Broncos already have a good defense in general, and then we have to play the Washington's defense, which is also phenomenal. So it's definitely gonna be kind of tough for him, especially you don't want to give him like a crazy big workload on Sunday and then be like, okay, cool, do the exact same thing on that Thursday, especially he's not that healthy. So I could see him going back to just you're the workhorse on that Thursday game against Washington, week 2. And then but him taking less snaps on Broncos game, because if we're being honest here, I think that Booker could probably get the job done, getting a majority of the snaps, or at least splitting the snaps 50-50. Clement's also a really good third down back as well. So I could definitely see that. And I don't necessarily think the Broncos are that good, where I do see our rival with Washington being definitely a way better game and them being just good in general. I think they're a good team. So yeah, that's where I kind of see Saquon going in his progression. Is I don't think he'd be starting week 1. If he does play week 1, I think it's very little. I think he'll probably take less snaps, and I can see him going back to normal Saquon week 2. If not, maybe he goes like 75% of the snaps. So maybe he goes 50% of the snaps splits them with Booker on our season opener against the Broncos, then goes 75, and then just goes back to 100, which I believe is week 3 at home against the Falcons, which is what's his name's Ring of Honor Day, which is Eli Manning's Ring of Honor Day, big game. So that's kind of where I see that happening. And then obviously we're gonna go into the preseason game. So we're gonna go over like what my thoughts are for the preseason game, what's been going around, and the players I'm looking forward to watching. So to start off, Daniel Jones is not a player you can look forward to watching because he will not be playing. Joe Judge just came out and said that he wants this. He's treating this game as if it is like a week 4 quarter sort of game. So before, I hate pre-COVID and everything, but before that, you used to have the 4 preseason games, and the 4th game usually was like the starters don't even touch the field, and that this is to sort of prove these back end players who are just fighting for a roster spot. It's for them to prove it's their last shot at getting a roster spot. Joe just came out and said this is their day. He's treating this like a week 4 game. Why? I'm not totally sure. That's just his decision. I never really got a true proper answer on that. But just to go over the depth chart. The depth chart has come out as far as who is the starting wide receivers and starting tight ends and such. For the most part, most of it makes, for the most part, a lot of sense. So you have obviously Kenny Golladay is our wide receiver 1, and then wide receiver 2 is obviously Sterling Shepard, and then wide receiver 3 is obviously Darius Slayton. That's probably, for the most part, everyone kind of got that under control. But now our wide receiver 4, and some people might be surprised by this, and I am also kind of surprised by this too, is John Ross. John Ross is now our wide receiver. He's slotted out wide receiver number 4, with our wide receiver number 5 being Kadarius Toney, and then David Stills at 6. Those 2 are going to be on the 3rd team. So they have it written out as first team, second team, 3rd team. And that's just how I'm kind of reading it and how I'm assuming. So Kadarius Toney is obviously, I would assume, our 5th guy. But yeah, I'm definitely surprised by that. I'm surprised that Kadarius Toney is not over John Ross, especially because I understand this is how Joe Judge wants to work. It's not, he doesn't care about how you got here. It's about what you could do when you are there. He doesn't care if you're the 1st round pick, aka Kadarius Toney, or if you're just some vet that really is trying to prove himself, aka John Ross, with the 1-year, $1.5 million contract. So that is definitely something kind of surprising to me. Something that I'm also very happy to see is that the whole starting line is kind of what I figured it would be. You have Andrew Thomas at left tackle, Shane Lemieux at left guard, Nick Gates, and then Will Hernandez and Matt Pert. That's our starting offensive line. Pretty happy about that. The only thing I am worried about is Will Hernandez. He doesn't the blitz pickup. I don't know if you guys saw the video. It kind of went a little viral after FanFest. It's Daniel Jones. Pretty much, I believe it's Tate Crowder walked in butt naked. He legit was walking in and would have sacked Daniel Jones, and it's because Will Hernandez could not pick up the block. So that's that. And then DJ threw it actually to our middle linebacker. Whoever he threw to the secondary. It might have been Logan Ryan. He legitimately threw it at the guy. So that was definitely a scary play. Hopefully, I obviously did watch more of the FanFest, and there wasn't a complete shit show. Maybe that's just the one play. Let's hope. But yeah, Will Hernandez, I am definitely have a lot of question marks about. Shane Lemieux, I love his dog mentality. I love Nick Gates. I love his mentality. Andrew Thomas, I think, is a very good player. I think he's going to prove himself to be a top left tackle and going to be a number 1 for sure left tackle for our future. And Matt Pert, I'm really excited to see play too. He's a huge guy, towers over people, and he's a massive right tackle, very young. When he came in, they said he was going to be a little bit of a project, but he's come in. He's earned his number one overall spot for the right tackle spot. And then you obviously have Nate Solder, who I think they probably will be going, maybe not 50-50, maybe more 75 leaning towards Matt Pert, but they will be sort of splitting up time, I think, every once in a while. And if not, and Matt Pert does prove himself to be that much of a dominant right tackle, Nate Solder is really just there to kind of like give him support and help him out, and really just to be like that veteran presence that whole young off the line needs. Because if we're looking at it, Will Hernandez on his 4th year, Matt Peart's on his 2nd year, Shane Lemieux's on his 2nd year, Andrew Thomas on his 2nd year, and Nick Gates is like just off his 2nd contract, so he's also really young too. So that is a very young off the line, very young core. And if we're looking at the oldest guy on the off the line is Nick Gates. He's the oldest guy on the off the line, I believe. So it's a young core. Going into another room, we got the running backs room with Saquon Barkley. Now, Saquon Barkley, obviously, our running back 1, and then you have Devontae Booker and Corey Clement, which, no questions really there. And then you have guys like Alfred Morris, Gary Brightwell, who they're saying is our 5th guy, which is a little nerve-wracking for that kid. You got drafted in the 6th round. You'd want to hopefully maybe make the team, but doesn't really look like that. And if we're going to wide receiver room too, Dante Pettis is on the wire too, like as not making the team. Because he's under the other bracket, if you're looking at this, and CJ Board is on the other bracket as well. These are 2 guys that a lot of people had a lot of hopes for. Another person that I think is gonna be making the team, I'm really happy for him. Well, it stinks that Levi Tololo. I feel bad for the guy that tears ACL. It's a really tough injury. It sucks for him. But Cade Smith, I think that's gonna let him make the team, and I'm really happy about that. Another guy I'm also happy about that I think will make the team and will actually play a little bit is David Sills. I'm super excited for him. That's a guy I'm looking forward to watching tomorrow. He's definitely, he's came out. He's like, yeah, I love the Giants. He's followed Daniel Jones wherever he goes. He's been there forever. Or not forever. But he's been there through like the process. He's been able to be like, yo, wherever Daniel goes, I'm going. He's kind of been like Julian Edelman type as far as like how he did that to Tom Brady. So he's really put a lot of work. And I think the coaches and the GM, Dave, and I think Joe Judge really appreciate that. And that's why he's earned himself a spot on not the other category, and like actually earned himself a spot as our 6th wide receiver, which I think that's what we're going to carry as 6 wide receivers. So yeah, that's that for the offense for the most part. And then now in the defense, there really is no crazy question marks for me, to be totally honest with you. The only question mark I really have, and I find it kind of interesting, is they seem to like Austin Johnson a lot. They have Austin Johnson at our starting nose tackle right behind Danny Shelton. I think those 2 are going to be splitting up time a lot, so I wouldn't be nervous about that. Middle linebacker. So obviously the defensive ends make sense. You have Lorenzo, or you have Dexter Lawrence, and you have the other defensive end being what's his name? Leonard Williams. So you have those 2. That one obviously makes a lot of sense. But then you have our strong linebackers being Lorenzo Carter and Oshane Ximines, which I'm not a fan of Oshane Ximines at all being one of our outside linebackers. He's gonna be on the weak side. I would rather see Azeez Ojulari. I think Oshane Ximines is horrendous. Every single time he get hurt, and we'll go, oh my god, what are we gonna do? I'd be like, I don't really care. He's not that good. So he's not good at all. And I'd rather see this Azeez Ojulari kid play. Now I understand. I think Joe Judge is kind of, I don't want to say copying Bill Belichick, but I think he's kind of doing what Bill Belichick does, where it's like, yeah, the rookies, like, it's gonna be tough. Like, you have to earn your spot. I think Ojulari will play because I think he's that much of a stud. I think he's a really good player. Another guy I'm really excited to look for is him. See if he plays. I'm not sure if he's playing because I think he does have like a little bit of a leg issue, which is something we're concerned about. We're coming in with that leg, but I think he has a little bit of a leg issue that they've been kind of rehabbing a lot. I'm really excited to see Reggie Ragland, see if he even plays. I'm not sure he's going to play, between honest with you, but I've heard a lot of good things about him. I'm excited to see him play. And Lorenzo Carter, I don't think he's going to play either in the preseason. In the preseason in general, I don't think he will play, but I'm excited to see him play in the future because you've always heard so many good things. Like, this kid just needs to put it together. And once he puts it together, he's a perfect fit for the scheme and everything. You've heard so many fantastic things about him, but he just hasn't been able to do it. So I'm really excited to see him play eventually. I'm not sure when it's going to be. So now we have our cornerbacks, which obviously make a lot of sense. But the only one I am kind of confused about, and I'm kind of confused looking at it right now, is you have our left and right cornerbacks. So, I mean, I don't think that really totally matters. I think the cornerbacks, as far as, especially for Adoree Jackson and James Bradbury, they are going to kind of line them up as far as what their strengths are. Adoree Jackson's way faster than James Bradbury, so I think Adoree Jackson's going to be on the more speed kind of guy on each team, whereas James Bradbury's going to be on the bigger, stronger guy. This is kind of what their MO is, and I feel like that's sort of what they're probably going to do. But they have Darnay Holmes, and then maybe they don't have a nickel. So they don't have a nickel corner kind of spot, but I see Darnay Holmes being in the more of a nickel corner kind of spot. And the same thing for Julian Love. I see him being also in the nickel corner kind of spot as well. And then also we have Aaron Aaron Robinson, that's another guy too who I could see being the corner. Now he has been kind of hurt, I believe. He hasn't really heard. You haven't heard much about him in camp, although people are really excited about him. One guy I am super excited to watch is Rodarius Williams. The kid has been balling out, and actually he's been like getting a lot of first team snaps, and he's been killing it. Every single day you hear something about this kid doing something great. So that's someone I'm really excited to watch. So yeah, if I had to name the players that I'm excited to watch, because for the secondary, like it's pretty much what it's going to be. It's going to be James Bradbury, Jabril Peppers, Logan Ryan, and Dory Jackson. And Xavier McKinney, I think he's going to work in that kind of safety area as well. I'm excited to see Xavier McKinney. He's not going to play against the Jets. He's too good. But I'm excited to see Xavier McKinney just play in general in the future. I'm really excited to see this kid play. But the kids I'm going to see excited for against the Jets are definitely going to be Rodarius Williams. I'm really excited to see that kid shine. So he's probably gonna be our number one corner on our field for most of the field because he is, as of now, they say he's the third team guy. So he's definitely gonna get a lot of reps because this is for the reps for the back end kind of guys. But I don't know how how we got him in the 5th round. He's an absolute stud. He's been every single day, like I said, we hear something good about this kid after practice. He's been balling out big time. So that's a kid I'm really excited to see. Really happy for Rodarius Williams, and it does help me out settle my nerves because let's say something happens to Dory Jackson because he does have some injury concerns. Boom, Rodarius Williams goes in there, and I don't feel like he's going to be like a freaking nobody who can't do anything. He can't cover. I think he can ball out. I think he's going to be really good. So those are really the 2 kids, the 3 guys I'll name right now that I'm really excited to watch. Really excited to see him, John Ross, so Rodarius Williams, John Ross, who's another wide receiver, and David Sills. Really excited to see them, and then also really excited to see Devontae Booker. I love Devontae Booker. I want to see him play well. I'm definitely excited to see him play because he might be our replacement for Saquon if Saquon goes down again. So I want to see this guy can work the backfield. Also in fantasy, if you are a fantasy football kind of guy, this is somebody you should definitely look to draft in the way later rounds. I'm probably going to draft him in my late round because just in case, he's going to be like the handcuff to Saquon. If Saquon goes down, I think he could step in and be pretty good. Be sort of like a Wayne Gallman kind of character. So those are mainly the 3 guys I'm excited to play. I do not think that the starting offensive line is going to play. So obviously, like I said, Matt Pert, Will Hernandez, Nick Gates, Shane Lemieux, and Andrew Thomas. I do not think those guys are going to play. So I can't say I'm excited to watch them play tomorrow because I don't think they're going to play. But if they are playing, that's another huge room I'm excited to watch. I'm not totally excited to watch. I really could care less about Kenny Williams or Kenny Wiggins, Nate Solder, Jonathan Harris, all those guys. I really don't care that much about them. But looking at it now, I think there will be some offensive line starters that will play. So if I'll say right now, if one of the first team offensive linemen starts, those are the guys I'm excited to watch. And that's pretty much it. Oh, Caden Smith. I like Caden Smith too. I'm excited to watch him play as well. So we'll go over it again. Rodarius Williams, my number 1 guy I'm excited to watch. Devontae Booker. Then we're going to go David Sills, John Ross, and then the whole just offensive line in general. It's a huge question mark, and that's who I'm excited to watch. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. All I got for Giants news and just news in general. Now, I'd like to say something real quick. Now, I'm going down south for the week. Spend some time in Myrtle Beach. I'm going down there for the week. I will not be able to post a video on Saturday next week. Just won't have time. I won't be, available. So, but, to my couple viewers that do watch it, I think honestly half the viewers that watch my videos are in this room right now with my sister and my girlfriend. So the other 2, I think might be Liam and Sam. If you guys even made it this far to even know this, I'll definitely be tweeting about it because I don't know if you guys really made it this far. I'm trying to get a little more active on Twitter, but I will not be able to post on Saturday. I will try to post on Sunday because I believe that's when we're going to be back home. So I'm going to try to post on Sunday night, but Saturday at 5:30 just will not happen. Again, I apologize. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All I got for the video. Definitely look for new things coming out. New segments will be coming out. I will be having new friends come on to Paul and Austin. You've seen them before. They are their special guests. I'm gonna have a segment with them during actual football. We're gonna be going over our favorite picks or favorite teams that are gonna be playing, just stuff like that. Favorite games to watch, and we're gonna just be bullshitting and talking football. I want to get more people on because I think that just me alone is a little boring. And I think more people could be a lot more fun. We could bring Tully broadcasting to the moon. But I appreciate the 4 that are watching. I just mentioned half of them are in this room, but I do appreciate the ones that are watching. Keep watching, share this to your friends, comment, do all that stuff. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, please let me know. All right. Peace out, guys.